Here's the story. It was still too soon for these early followers of Jesus to grasp the resurrection. Forget whether they would believe it actually happened at some time in the future or whether Bible scholars would debate its validity a couple thousand years later. These followers were still reeling from the death of their leader. And now there were reports that he was back. That's this week's Bible reading. I can imagine feelings of sadness and anguish, fear, helplessness, and hopelessness from these followers. And then Jesus was with them and said, "Peace be with you." It's the kind of statement that, in this case, diffused so much of the fear and sadness and uneasiness around. Jesus still had some convincing to do, though. He showed them his hands and feet. He ate broiled fish. Hopefully there were good spices. He ate it to prove to them that he was flesh and blood and not some kind of ghost. And this week's reading says that he opened their minds to understand the Scriptures. That must have been a rush. I don't know what they experienced, but I imagine something like a long closed door opening to an undiscovered room in a house, or maybe a fresh breeze blowing into a long sealed cave. But then Jesus gave them a job. You are witnesses of these things. They were to go and tell the story. So if you'd experienced all of that, how would you describe that story? There was Jesus. We thought he was a ghost. He told us he was real. He showed us. He ate some fish and told us to go tell the story. After some time, I'm sure folks got things together to tell the story more coherently and more completely. We know that because we have records. But at first, maybe all they could do was look at each other and be in joy, disbelieving. Not, I don't believe this and you can't prove it to me, and not, there's got to be some logical explanation to this, no sense thinking it's something extraordinary, but what just happened? What just happened? See, what just happened moments, they don't have an explanation or an easy description. Folks call them usually, you had to be there moments. But what just happened moments are often game changers. Jesus' resurrection was a game changer. Jesus' appearance to the folks after being dead and now resurrected was a game changer. What just happened moments aren't something you can plan. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to try right now. It's time for a game changer. It's time for a what just happened moment. We've had things about it in our Friday emails, in our newsletter. I've talked a little bit about it. There are some pictures on this wall right here, the one behind the couches. Who saw them when you came in today? Did you see new pictures? Oh, there we go. Yes, it's because you saw the picture of it, right? And Mandy saw it too, right? You saw it. No one else saw it yet? Look, when you leave the sanctuary, turn to your right and look at the new pictures, the new posters on there. See, we're entering into this season of visioning, to envision what is God's vision for Peace Memorial Church, United Church of Christ, now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And through it all, before we enter into the season, after, we are still called to be the church and to be a blessing. That's the first part. And what does it all mean? What does a season of visioning even mean? What does it lead us to? How does it inform Peace Memorial Church ministries? How does it inform Peace Memorial Church programming, events, how we maintain the buildings, and more? What is the new and exciting thing that God is doing in our midst? What can we do together? With vision, with hope, discernment, and imagination. What is possible? And also, what is completely or seemingly impossible, yet something we can imagine together? And how, through it, will we continue to live out God's love? So, are you ready for a game changer? It's not something to answer out loud. Think in your head. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. What is it all? Are you ready for a season of visioning? Same response. Are you ready for a great adventure? May we be inspired to tell the story, to live the story, to share a what just happened experience as we live authentically and completely God's love. May we be open to be in joy, disbelieving what just happened. Amen.